Okay, so I am in the process now of getting an update from Rapid for Home Away from YouTube. I am doing an episode on Home Away from YouTube so that we can get this documented. Alright, everything's looking good. So, here we go. I'm gonna tell him to let's do it. Let's do it. Make sure everything's working out, looking right. And there we go. Now Twitch has the actual chat, so where's he gonna be at? That's the big question. So he's coming in. This is technically the second episode for okay, so he's in team lobby. This is the second episode for Twitch. We are going to have the first one on Rumble and Minds and Odyssey this will be the first ones on there, and then I'll upload them on YouTube, which will eventually make it to BitChute, and we can go from there. So now I need to find Team Lobby, and we can get this started. He's going to do updates on what we are going to do next year or so. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hey, man.
Alright. I am on here. I apologize about all that. I had to take care of some crazy business with my mom.
That's no worries, man. That's no worries.
Alright.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. So, it's been crazy week for me, man. I've been having to freaking deal with taking care of mom, and then we also had like all these weird, I don't know how to explain it, it's just like weird daylight savings time shit, you know what I mean? Like it's getting darker now. And
yeah.
My whole mind is just like not working out. It's crazy. My sleep habits have gone to hell.
It's that wonderful time of year again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the big news that we got to do for next year and everything? So.
Well, I don't know if I would call it big news, but we just got to kind of get organised, or try to get organised in some way, shape, or form, I guess, because it's scarily getting closer. So,
no, I mean, you actually did say you had like big news about next year.
did I use those words? I probably did.
Yeah.
Well,
sounded
I don't know if I was
excited.
being funny about it.
It sounded pretty excited to me. I was like, kind of caught my attention.
You know something? It might even be true. I'm a bit like yourself in that my sleeping pattern has gone out the window, so sometimes I'll forget things. Let me just quickly reread the conversation we had.
You've caved in and finally told me that Zach is going to be on Team Retro. I know that.
That is big news. Yes, yeah. Zach is going to be joining us. I don't know exactly when. Well, I'll tell a lie. I'd like to be able to do the airship thing around April, if we can pull that off, which gives us a little window to work with. So
yeah,
it's not entirely impossible. But we tried this before and it didn't work out so well. But
that really wasn't our fault, though. Being honest.
No.
I mean, I know you don't like beating people over the head with a club and everything, but like everybody that's involved, other than that one person, is still here. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, of course, and that, I'm entirely grateful. It's a shame that it happened the way it did. And again, with that one particular person, kind of whether knowingly or not, messed it up for everyone else. So yeah, it is what it is. But I mean, you can never really plan for these things. So that's. There was a quote actually in a Spider-Man film. I remember one of the characters said something along the lines of, "If you expect disappointment, then you won't be disappointed," or something like that. So,
yeah, that's probably the right gist of it.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it really is.
Yeah,
So,
I think that's definitely my new motto in life now. So,
yeah.
but yeah, no, it's big news that Zach is joining us, and I'm really excited for that because, I mean, he's just so full of energy, man. It's so nice to be able to work with him as well, because I thought at first it was going to be like the airship thing, because he had a read through that and he was genuinely excited for it, and I'm like, well, you know, he's kind of stepped away from the game thing for a while, doing his own thing, and you know, the interviews and whatnot, and I thought, well, if it comes to it, you know, to play games and things, if he wanted to maybe play them with us and stuff, you know, the way we do things, and he seems really open to that. He was really excited about it, and I'm equally excited to have him join us. So
now on that, you know how you was talking about wanting to expand out a little bit with other things outside of retro gaming and everything. He is really into Disney games, and I think he would be a really big asset in that area. Like, I mean, I'm not big on the Disney games myself, you know, but I'd be willing to do those. Heck, I'm doing Zelda and stuff and Pokemon with you, you know what I mean? But
yeah, it's funny you mention that. I do have an idea of a few things. We did speak Disney games, but Zach has, I think, made it pretty clear that he's willing to play just about anything.
Yeah.
So we'll see as we get into the year. There's a ton of Disney games that's been around since, I don't know, the dawn of video game era, I guess. So there's no shortage of Disney games there anyway.
Yeah.
But we'll go back to Zach in a little while, because I think, you know, to properly organise, we need to kind of look at where we're going to be going at the start of the year. And initially, I was hoping to do Pokemon Green, but I think with the way things are going right now, and that not even have, as far as I'm aware, it's not even started yet. You know, I'm going to have to change plans, because, you know, we're only weeks away. Literally, we're weeks away from January, to be fair. So, I mean, obviously, you and I, we spoke about Infamous Arcade. Literally, I think last night, was it?
No, it was the night before. I got all my Defender high scores together, and I sent those to you. I can do like a cameo and everything here with in a little bit. I was going to try to get them today because it was light out, but I ended up oversleeping. I had a rough night last night. I was up doing all the editing and stuff and didn't get to sleep till like 5 this morning, so 5 or 6. So
yeah, that's understandable.
I'll just freaking turn the light on and get a cameo out to you, and then have that ready. I have to figure out what happened to that list though, because I know I had a list of the games for the arcade. For the life of me, I don't know if I left or if I copied it on the.
Well, this is your lucky day.
You got it.
Yeah, it's on the server. So if you scroll down on our server and go all the way down to the very bottom where it says Season 4, and in the Infamous tab is your... Basically anything that you'll be working on during next year will be in this section right here.
Okay, let me get there real quick. I don't understand why I continue to have a hard time with these freaking channels, trying to scroll through them and stuff. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, here we go. Season 4. Okay, so Contra, Altered Beast, Beast Wars Gauntlet, Virtual Defender 2, and Rampage. Now, I actually can add more to those because, you know, that Cosme link that I sent you?
Yeah.
Now, they have some cool RPG stuff that's on there that I can use, and or not RPG, but some games, emulator games on there, and it's like you can do it multiplayer.
Yeah, that's I had a look at it. Yeah, I rewatched it after our last conversation. It was a brief video of the tutorial thing, but I had a read at it as well.
It was the Cosme is something that me and Tan on mine's chat's been playing around with. Me, him, and Mr. Robot. It's a pretty cool setup they got on there, and let me see if they've posted. I don't know if anybody's gone on there here recently, but we've been going in there and playing like a Quake Arena and setting all that up, so it's been actually working out pretty good. So like you can literally go in there and play Quake Arena multiplayer, like 4 people. You remember the old Quake Arena?
Oh yeah, I played Quake Arena just recently on Xbox 360. Yeah,
they've got it on there where you can go in there with more than one person and everything and play the whole game. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let me see. I've had the link here. I don't know why I can't find it. But yeah, it's Cosmi, Kosmi.
Yeah, I've still got the link. I've got our chat. It's not too far up from the bottom.
Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can get into this room. Let you just take a look at it. It's pretty good. Just real quick, let me send this to you, and just click on it, okay? And that's all you got to do. That's it. You don't even have to sign in. You don't have to do anything.
Okay.
All right. Open up a chat. All right. Okay. It's right over here on the chat side. I'll click on it. Just go in there real quick on that link.
Hang on.
This, being honest, this would be a pretty good setup. There you go. See, you just came in, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So. I don't. Can you hear me in there?
No, I can hear you in the Discord.
Okay, good. So this right here is set up to where you go in here and see right there where it has it says load video or apps. Right there on that little square.
I don't see one.
Okay.
I mean, all I've got is like a chat box down the right hand side, and it's like invite friends
Okay.
at the top.
You know, up on top where you see that little arrow that's pointing down.
Mine's watch party.
Yeah, okay. Now click on that little arrow and go to is it saying mine's a watch party? Okay.
Yeah, well, you've joined this one again, I think. You've just come in.
Okay. Right up, or if you hit that button, there's another one that says Roger Hansen's room.
Yeah, I'm
see-
in that now.
Okay, click on that. And then can you see the picture of the woman with the
Two faces, yeah.
Yeah, no, right there under that it says apps.
I don't have anything here. It doesn't say apps or anything there.
Okay, hit
It's just the faces.
Okay,
Yeah.
hit refresh. Oh wait, hold on a minute. I might have to do it. So NES emulators. Alright, it has 10-yard fight. What is it? You have 8 Eyes, the Addams Family, the Pugly Scavenger Hunt, Adventures of Dino Ricky, and I mean the Airwolf. They've even got the old Airwolf on there.
Yeah.
Aliens 3, which me and Tan did. Now, can you see that?
I can see you load up the game, yeah. There's no library for me. It just says load a ROM or whatever. But yeah, I can see you loading up Aliens 3. So.
Yeah. Now, over here on the side, if you hit that button right there with the speaker, it'll give you the audio.
Okay.
You see that? Now, on here with the with the NES games and stuff, they've got tons of them. Okay, and if you come in here, we can literally play together while we're doing this.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. The only thing I will say though is our schedules might clash because I'm back to work kind of like at a more regular basis now, and I'm still working on a lot of stuff, but it is a great idea for when we do have something. So what I would say is, if you have, I don't know, say like Cosmic's Cult Classics, when he did his second series, he mostly went out on his own, but there was maybe 1 or 2 episodes where he's like, you know, you want to come in and do something, and we'll do a game together. And I was like, yeah. So I mean, if you have 1 or 2 episodes like that you want to do throughout your series, and we can try and find time to do those. So yeah, that'd be a pretty good way to set up this Cosme thing.
And like you said, I can do these apps by myself as a single player too to get some of them. They even have King of the Monsters Part 1, which I was wanting to find. I found Part 2, and you remember how hard that was. And
yeah, I watched it on your channel, yeah.
But Part 1's not as complicated as that because it didn't have the turbo. So, I mean, I tried it out with Tan, and it was actually a good gameplay, like 2 players and stuff. But on 1 player, I shouldn't have no problems with pulling that together. So, I mean, if you want, you can add King of the Monsters to it. That'd make it 9. And now Predators, that wasn't that's a retro, isn't it? It's past 20 years, I think, isn't it?
Which one? Which version are you
The one
referring
that
to?
I was just firing. I don't think that's NES though. But
Oh, you mean the one that you were
yeah,
playing on your channel a while ago?
yeah. Just a second. That's NES.
The aliens is Predators. I thought you were referring to the one on your channel where you do like a Call of Duty looking game, which that's definitely not 20 years.
No, no. The one that I was just
yeah.
showing you right there, that Predator.
Yeah, that's definitely that's NES, I think. So
Yeah. That might not be arcade, but it would be an option for like a retro game and everything.
yeah, no, I mean we'll definitely look at arcade retro games separately. I think arcade. I think it would kind of defeat the purpose calling it Infamous Arcade if we
Right.
don't do arcade games. So try and stick to arcade, I would say, for at least that section.
Now, on that one, I can use King of the Monsters Part 1 because that was an arcade game.
Okay.
So we can do that. And I think they've got another one. I'm not going to. Wait, hold up, wrong one. I'm not going to
That's
hold my
on that
breath.
list.
Yeah. No, they have not Captain Commando. Let's see here. Final Fight, I think, was the one that was arcade. Whoa, yeah, see right there.
Final Fight was, yeah.
Final Fight was an arcade, yeah. They got all of them. They got Part 1. They've got Part 3. I don't see Part 2 in there. But then they got Fatal Fury as well.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty good arcade title. What I would say though is, I mean, I know you've got your own busy schedule to work with as well, especially January. But I mean, this is completely up to you when or how far you want to spread this out. Because if you're talking about doing more than 8 games, then we can look at it overlapping into February as well.
Well, I mean, I'd like to do, I'd just like to do January. I mean, how many? You're just wanting to do 2 a week?
Yeah. According to the schedule I was looking at, I was thinking. Let's see. I think it was every Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay. Yeah. Then we're covered.
So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. There's actually 9 because there's a 5th Tuesday. In fact, then again, I guess we could make it Saturday and Sunday in January because there's 8 there. That would fit better. So, like on weekends, you'd have Infamous Arcade for the month of January. I think that would work perfect.
That'd work out better too, because like on the first one, you put out that the one I just sent you, Defender, and that'll cover it, and then I can come up with the rest of them off of the 8 that we've got on the list.
Yeah, I'll take Defender 2 out though, because we'll count that as Defender 1 essentially. So
Defender 2, I don't even know if that was arcade game, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I remember we were talking about that, and I was like, I don't even know if it was an arcade game.
What I would say though, is you're probably not going to like this, but I was thinking that your face cam would be on for the duration of the game as well. I know you're talking about doing like a snippet at the start, I guess, or whatever, but I mean, if you take Cosmic's Cult Classics, for example, or Scony Scores NES, I don't know if you've really ever watched any of those, but they have like the small face cam in the corner as they're playing the game. I was kind of hoping that you would want to do the same with yours as you're playing the game.
Well, I mean, I could do it, but the whole thing is it's like most of the time I'm in here, I'm playing in the dark. I mean, you'll see like my glasses and freaking my headphones and stuff, but that's about it.
Yeah. You would need good lighting for that. To be fair,
I mean, I just.
I mean, I get what we could do then as another option to explore is for each episode.
I can play and talk at the same time. And being honest, I mean, I've heard over and over again. There's tons of people, especially on Twitch, who say they wish they've never started using a camera or a cam. You know, they have no problems with the audio, you know, and talking and stuff, but like they just really wish they didn't freaking do it. Like I forgot the names of them. They're the ones that used to do Minecraft. That one guy used to always talk like a little kid. I keep forgetting his name, but anyhow, he was on there with his buddy, and freaking they said it all right out front. It was like freaking, because before when they didn't see their faces, they were characters on the video. You know what I mean? Whereas when they started using a camera, then they started freaking putting a name to a face. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the way we're going to be doing things on the channel is once we hit milestones, the faces are kind of revealed, and therefore it's a constant thing. What I would say then, if you don't want to be there like for the duration of the episode, right? Because I'm going to cut these down anyway. I'm not going to make them like. You and I can discuss how long you want each one to be. If you want it to be like an hour long, do you want it to be like half an hour long? We can discuss that. But what I would say then, if you don't want to be there for the duration, is maybe do like a little intro, explain the game you're about to play, talk a little bit about it, and then the middle section of the video is going to be you playing the game without you being on camera. Talk about it while you're playing if you wish, or don't, it's up to you. And then at the end, do like a little review part, but again with you on camera.
That's what I was saying, like I could do the cameo and maybe put it at the end. I'll say freaking a little bit about the game and then end it, you know what I mean? And then if you want me to, I could do it with all of them. I could start out with you know, talking about the game, and if I want to just play the game without talking, I can do it after I'm done there, and then at the end I always do a cameo when the game's over.
Yeah. The great thing is, I mean, your face reveal was when we hit 200 subscribers, and Matt's is now 300. So, I mean, Matt will have his face on what he's doing. But when we're doing group projects, like say Pokemon, which we're going to be doing as well, you guys won't need to show. Just because you have had the face reveal doesn't mean to say that group projects will include that as well, because it wouldn't be fair, you know, for likes of myself and Dr. G who haven't yet had that.
Yeah.
And then you guys are like, well, hold on, how come your face isn't on the, you know,
I was
on the
gonna
video?
mention that, but it's like freaking,
Yeah.
you know, what's
It's
the
purely
deal with
for.
that? Are you guys like favoritism and stuff, trying to pick on me?
No.
Is
Definitely not. No, it's pure. I mean, at the time of the 200 subscribers, it was Pokemon Yellow that was running, so it made sense for, you know, you to reveal your face then, and in the same way that, you know, Cosmic did his, and so on. So it's really only for solo projects. As we continue to climb, and if we, you know, continue to climb the ladder, more faces will be revealed. And of course, eventually one day, all our faces maybe will be revealed, so group projects will feature everyone's face as well. That's the only, once everyone's done, basically. But yeah, for the time being, if that's how you want to do yours, like the intro, the outro, but the middle part's just the game, I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm totally cool with that.
I'm up with whatever you want to do, because like I told you before, I mean, when it comes to the retro, I'm just gonna stick with putting it on your channel and stuff. Like all the other stuff I'm putting on now, it's just catch up from what I had last year that I wasn't able to put on YouTube. So the new stuff is just going to be interacting with you and putting it on your channel, because I want to try to keep things organized. And it seems better to be organized when it comes to the retro by putting it on your channel instead of having it on mine and yours, and you know what I mean? It's hard.
Well, yeah, in a sense, yeah.
It's hard enough, you know.
I mean, if that's what you want, like, I get that you want to have yours organized in such a way where retro stuff is in one place and what you're working on at the moment is in another. So yeah, I mean, I'm totally cool with that. You know, you've got a place to showcase your older games, and you've got your own channel for your newer games. So if it works for you, man, I'm there.
Yeah. Plus, it'll give me a chance to help with like sharing your stuff to where you get more of a reach as well. You know what I'm saying? Like if all my retro is going over to your channel, then that means I can spend time on your channel to make sure the stuff's shared and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't just do YouTube. I'm on Minds, and I'm on Odyssey and Rumble. I've got all that networked to where, like, when I put my games on YouTube, it automatically goes to Odyssey and it goes to Rumble because they're synced together. So I can do that, and then I can take and also make sure that yours gets shared on Minds, and then on just on Minds basically, but on, because I don't really do any other networks now.
That's fair. I appreciate that.
And Discord
appreciate that as
too,
well.
I guess Discord too, because that's one thing I've been trying to catch back up on, is getting things up on Discord.
I noticed that you've been a little absent, but I thought you were busy, so.
Yeah, I'm really.
I mean, like from WLCs and stuff. Yeah.
Well, with the WLCs, I had to freaking cut them out for a little while, because it was getting to the point where these interviews were cutting in on me.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I've got people freaking from New Zealand and Australia and stuff freaking wanting to do interviews with me, and then I've got people from Scotland, Wales, and I'm like, dude.
Oh, I wonder if I know them.
You probably do. It's crazy how it is. I even have John coming on Wednesday, old John on Wednesday, to do an interview for Home Away from YouTube, and then Zira. He's gonna be on Saturday morning.
That's right. Yeah. I've been following the posts. That's pretty exciting, man. It's pretty exciting.
You know.
How do you feel though on Wednesday? Because that's our day for Zelda as well. So I hope you're feeling pretty lively.
I was thinking about that. 5 o'clock should be early enough. John's not Mr. sitting around 2 hours having an interview. He'll want to have that done and over and quick. You know what I mean? Within an hour. So I should be okay, unless I fall asleep. And if I fall asleep, you'll know, because I won't be around. If I get tired and I want to fall asleep, I'll send you a message. But I should be able to do it.
Yeah, that's cool. I appreciate that, because
I even reserve Wednesdays and Sundays to where we can do this and get Zelda done. If you notice, like, I backed off on those days, so.
Well, I mean, right now.
Saturday, wasn't it? Saturday or Sunday, I know.
No, you were right. It was Wednesdays. It used to be Wednesdays and Sundays. Now I think it's just a case of Wednesdays now.
Okay.
For me, I mean, as we get closer to Christmas, I think it's going to change a little, because it could be that one week I'm expected into work on a Wednesday. I know Matt's off every Wednesday, or mostly every Wednesday. In my line of work, I tend to be placed more on weekends, which is why I think Sundays is no longer a go. But this week coming, I have both Wednesday and Sunday off, so if it came to it, we could do a little of both on each day. But I guess we'll see how that goes. But I do want to kind of bring something else up before I forget, because you mentioned Discord there, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. I know that you've recently, we spoke about it last week, briefly, but I made a post this morning, yesterday, I don't know, one of the days, about you taking over the WLC on the server.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. You don't even have to talk about that. That's fine. I have no problems with it.
That's cool.
If you want to say something.
I mean, I was only going to say there's a bit of a bigger expansion on that if you were interested. I was thinking of, I mean, obviously we're having an expansion on the server itself. We're having more people join in all the time. Well, this is our time. This is where we're growing, basically, especially on Discord. I don't know if you've noticed the increase in numbers.
Yeah,
but
I have.
I've noticed in a lot of other servers there are monitors, and that's something that, while we are a team in itself, we don't really monitor anything. And I think it's important at some point, especially with the growing numbers, that there is more than one person monitoring the server.
Yeah.
So I'd like to offer that position to you as well, if you're open to it.
I can do it. Yeah.
I would extend. Well, that's great. I'm really happy that you're. I mean, I know you've got like 1,000,001 things on, so asking you to do any extra, I always feel like it's a little bit more of a burden I'm passing on.
Well, with your server though, like if you really pay attention, like you're getting a lot of activity in the WLC, you know what I mean? But like on the other ones, there really isn't very much activity. Like in the general chat, nobody's really started like hitting the conversations as much, so it's not really that much of a stretch, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's something that can be manageable, but like you said, if as it gets bigger, there will be more, and that's when you'll start getting it.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I mean, that's a good start.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as Team Retro goes, I feel like a lot of the burdens that I've carried for a long time have been passed on to you as well, because you've got the editing the job. Not that there's been a lot to do right now, but there may be. And again, you've got 1,000,000. I mean, I guess everybody's got a lot of things going on. I myself, outside of YouTube, I've got a lot of things going on as well. But it's like, I guess, you know, we're a team of what, five? Four, five? Yeah, five. I often have to ask myself, because we've had such a turnover in the last few months. I'm like, is it 4 or 5? It's definitely 5. But yeah, I mean, like you and I, we're really the most active, I guess, outside of any of the videos that we're making, because we have you know, the editing to do, and now
we're the
now
two
the server.
most obsessed of it. That's really the best way of saying it. It's like, me and you're probably the most obsessed with this shit. Be honest.
That's probably the best way to put it. Yeah.
Like,
probably, yeah.
Like, the one person I would like to get freaking involved is freaking RJ, and he just doesn't seem to be even interested, you know what I mean? And
no, do you know, I think I know why that is. I mean, we had a long conversation before about when we were doing the challenges and that, And I think he just doesn't have a way to play retro. I mean, he sticks primarily to his PlayStation, as far as I'm aware. So I don't think he has a way of, from what I remember anyway. I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but I think he said something about not having a way to play retro, because we were talking about Crash Bandicoot and how he had the Insane trilogy, so that if there was ever a challenge that involved Crash Bandicoot, that he was there for it, kind of thing. And he was asking me how I felt about using the Insane trilogy rather than the PS1 originals, and I was like, well, you know what, if you've got it, use it, you know. It's but I think that was his issue, was that he doesn't have a way to play or emulate retro games. But yeah, I would definitely have him on.
He would be perfect for this stuff, though, because he's all about medals and getting awards in the games. If the games doesn't have medals in it, some kind of reward system, he won't play it.
Yeah. I noticed that, yeah.
Like, he'd be perfect for this kind of stuff if he'd just come on and do it, but...
I mean, it could be that it could be a number of things. He might not. He might be busy. He might not be as interested. I mean, because like we have that airship thing going on, and Zach's responded to the post pretty well. But I mean, maybe it doesn't really, because I think RJ said something about not being too sure how to play battleships, so maybe that's what's thrown him off a little bit as well. But you know, we'll make more. I've already thought of the next few Team Retro based board games. I'm already like 10 steps ahead. I know what's coming next if this one's successful. So I've already got the next 4 or 5 planned if this one goes well. So, and they're not all battleships or airships or whatever, you know. So.
But yeah, you pointed to me where the list was, so don't worry about that. I'll have those ready for January on the arcade games. And
that's great.
Then it's okay to put the cameo at the end and start out the video with the comments, kind of like I did with the Defender, except for I need a cameo at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean that's completely fine. I wouldn't really ever push anyone to like be there for the full hour if they don't want to be. I mean that's torture, I guess. But
see, you've also got to understand. Okay, I'm like a 50-year-old man. I got freaking like a beard down to my freaking my boobs, you know.
Boobs. Yes, we all have boobs.
And you know, younger people are catering, or that's what it's catered to with gaming, okay? And they don't want to see some old man sitting there freaking playing a video game, like literally seeing them, you know? So that's
well, the way, I mean, I've always tried to convey the message that Nostalgia Gaming Retro as a channel is for everyone. Okay, whether you're old or, well, I'm not going to say everyone. Like, I'm not going to like invite minors in and stuff. Oh, okay, you guys go play and then be on camera. No, I mean like, if you're 50, it doesn't matter. But if you're 60, it doesn't matter. You want to play a game, you want to be on camera or whatever, go ahead, play the game. Play the games that you enjoy. You know.
Yeah.
As long as you're having fun and everybody's like enjoying the content and whatever, who cares? I'm always I'm open-minded in the sense that, you know, I don't really care if it's some old man or woman playing this video game. I'm just watching the video game and watching that person have fun playing that game. And of course, you know, my face is going to be on there eventually. I'm not going to care what people are going to think about me. I'm just there to play the game. So, like, I get where you're coming from. Like, some people are small-minded, and you know that's just internet, man. That's just internet.
It's just an excuse so that I don't have to freaking show up on camera. Don't fall for that stuff.
It's also another excuse for you not to show up on camera. But yeah, I mean, listen, you were not too excited about Pokemon. You were not too excited about Zelda, but we got you.
Yeah,
we got you, and we also got you on Facecam eventually. So I believe
And
you can do it.
talking and stuff to you. I mean, you remember that? I didn't even like having a conversation. Just let me play the damn game, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, you're like, no, I don't need to talk. In fact, you even had a minor debate about the fact I was cutting content out as well. You're like, man,
Yeah,
people,
see,
that's memories.
that's the reason why I do my fail videos, is because, like, and a lot of people don't even think about that. Well, they might. I don't know if I shouldn't say a blanket statement like that, but like when you're going and you're editing that stuff out, you're giving a false pretense to people, like you're actually good at the game and you're not freaking failing, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's not cool if you're doing that, because I don't care who you are, you're freaking dying on these games, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's the reason why I do my fail videos, so that people can see, you know, look, the edited video doesn't show me dying, but this is what actually happens, you know.
See, I enjoy those kind of videos because it was an early idea. I think it's maybe featured in a couple of things I've done as well, but we were doing like blooper reels, gag reels, that kind of thing. So mistakes that happened or funny deaths in games. And I wanted to keep that an ongoing trend. But the thing is, as I soon found out, because I was overloaded with edits, I didn't have the time to just sit through and pick out all the bits, because as soon as I'm done one video, I then have to jump on to like the next and the next and the next, and it just becomes a kind of, you know, mountain to climb, basically.
I understand where you're coming from. I just finished doing Call of Duty 4, okay, and you want to talk about some crazy fail videos. Like, I had to go through there and edit out all the deaths and then keep track of them on the same, I was on Blender, so I had all the fails sitting up above outside of what was going to be the video. So I had to go through and I had to make sure that every time I died, that was moved over to the side, and then I had to make sure the cut was perfect, and then I had to do that all the way through them for 30 videos.
Jeez,
It was a nightmare. I mean, I do understand where you're coming from there. I mean, I'm not too eager to do freaking fail videos anymore, to be honest with you. I am gonna keep them going, but they're not gonna be on every single game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a shame, because I think honestly that they're great. It's just, for me, it's always last minute, and if I always want to, you know, fit them in somewhere, put them in somewhere, but I'm like, I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
And it's a shame, because you get some really great moments from them.
The battles are just insane. Like,
yeah,
there's nothing better than the battles in those things. I've been doing Dying Light, and like the parts where I'm dying, I'm like really getting into some intense fights. You know? And I've got all that there in the fail videos. So, and they're back to back, one right after the other. And I think that's why people like them so much.
I think so. Yeah, they're definitely, it's a popular trend as well, especially with YouTube Shorts. It's a thing. It's a go-to, certainly. But I've noticed as well, like, I was talking to you last time. I don't know if it was last week, in fact, when we were doing Zelda, and we've had such a great response from Randomizer 3, and I think it's mostly, it's not due to the gameplay, or well, at least I don't think so anyway. There might be a few out there who have never seen, I doubt it, but because it's so big, but you know, a randomized Zelda, or there might be even less people that have seen online play with the game. But I think what's really bringing people in is the interaction between me, you, and Matt. Because, I mean, we've done stuff before that's...
But not like on this scale. This actually...
Not on this scale.
Not on... Yeah, you're right. Like, not... Like, with me and you, we've been editing Pokemon closely, you know what I mean? Like... But, going and doing this is, like, on a different level because, like... We're all playing it for one thing, and then you got 3 separate footage that you got to edit out, and like this is completely. It's I is. I agree with you.
It's the. I think it's like the conversations and things, the funny moments between us, because there's a lot of stuff that, I guess, if this had been me on my own doing a playthrough. A lot of it would have been cut.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of stuff in there, like, I don't know, take the chickens, for example. Now, that was set up as a gag.
Yeah. That turned on you.
That part wasn't written, right? None of it was written, but I think it was, like, towards the end that Matt says, you know what, you should attack a chicken, and it kind of spiraled from that. But the fact it turned, I mean, those are great moments that, as I spoke about during the interview, was I want to share these moments and look back in 10 years and laugh at them again. You know, when I remember what it was like to play those moments with my friends. And this is the first series, I think, on the channel for me, outside of the Chameleon Twist thing, that, I mean, with Chameleon Twist it was a little bit scripted, at least the commentary was, but this is just 3 friends playing a game.
Yeah.
Some of it's cut, yeah, but I mean, this is 3 friends playing a game, and you know, everyone's got a different view. Like, this is your first time playing. I'm a bit of a veteran at this game. Matt's a bit of a veteran at this game as well. So it's like watching how we all interact with each other, how we explore this world, and it's fun. It's fun to watch because it's the only thing I've actually watched back after the editing, and I'm like, you know what, that is pretty good. That is funny. That's good stuff in there.
Yeah, it really is. It really is good stuff.
So yeah, I'm definitely proud of that. I'm proud of a lot of stuff, but definitely proud of that one.
Now the first episode is still my favorite. Like, Matt sitting there in the thing just hawking and puking and stuff, and you're trying to end the episode and he's sitting next to you going
yeah. Excuse me.
That was hilarious. that was the perfect ending.
Yeah.
So.
I think for me, if I had to pick a moment, and it's quite tough because there's a few I know about that's coming up. For me, I think I would still say the chickens, because
yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
Yeah. It was for me. It was a bit too long. The setup was too long, but what's there, I think it's like 9 minutes long or something. That was still cut down because obviously there was a lot of waiting around and stuff like that. But that segment cut down for the joke to be set up. I think the audience, you know, everybody knew it was coming. For those that's played the game, I don't know if you even were aware that while you were playing that Matt and I were setting you up for this. I don't even think you were aware.
Well, see, the cool part about that scene, though, is, like, they were aware that I was going to get my ass whooped by these chickens, but they didn't know that, like, if you drop a bomb, the chickens explode and go everywhere, and then
that's right.
thing, you know, they freaking attack everybody. That's what really surprised all of us, because, like, I was getting hit, but then I picked up that bomb and threw it down, and they just went everywhere. And next thing you know, you guys are screaming and yelling because they're attacking you too. You know, that's what made it so funny. And like, by the time it was done, we were all getting our butts kicked in the middle of the freaking stream. It's like, oh my god, that was hilarious. I still laughing over it. I was like, that's funny. That's quality
What
right there.
I really like though in that entire thing isn't just the part where it starts to turn on us. I think my favourite part is how you're having the last laugh. You can see your character still getting knocked down at the fence, but all you say in the outro in the last like 20 seconds or so is all you can hear is just you laughing while getting knocked down.
Yeah.
And that just sets it completely, because you know you got it turned round on me, and that was just funny. yeah, it's moments like that. That will.
Now,
when looking back in about 10 years, that will stand the test of time, I think.
Now, on Wednesday, you want to get into that and do some gaming and everything for it.
Yeah, Wednesday's like the only. Yeah, Wednesday would be good if you're able. Wednesday would be really good.
Well, I've got to do that interview with old John, so I need to be up, and just don't attack me at 5 in the morning like you did last week.
That was a combined effort.
Yeah, I know.
That was a.
It needed to be done, I guess. But
all right. So what would be the earliest for you then that you would be more comfortable with?
Well, I've got to do the interview with old John, so after that I can reach out and see if you guys are still online getting ready or whatever. That's going to be around 11 o'clock whenever your time, whenever I start, so it'd be about 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock works for me. I'll mention that to Matt as well. That would be ideal. I don't even have to leave on Wednesday. I don't have, like had an appointment to go to last time. Like I'm in the whole day, so
okay.
1 works for me, definitely.
Because now you said that you're almost done with your series, aren't you?
I've picked. I've got an insane amount of series to do this year. I've picked out 15 games that I want to do this year. And
with Zelda.
Oh, with Zelda.
Yeah. How many more times did you need to do this?
I am not sure, because a randomizer you can never really tell how it's going to go. But we are. I would certainly say we're over the halfway mark anyway. So. Okay. I would say, I've only just started editing episode 9. We need. I don't know. It's hard to say. If not this Wednesday or Sunday, I would say at least another week to 2 weeks on it. But I really want to try and get it all wrapped up by Christmas or New Year at the latest. I don't want to carry this into season 4. I want this to end this year. So we'll be done. We'll wrap this up however we need to this month. Now, if that means we need to come on a little extra as we get closer to the end of the month, I guess, we haven't really got a choice. Yeah. We'll try. We'll come on. But
just remember that you do have Christmas, and let's see, Christmas is
on a Monday. It's on a Monday, 25th.
So that's good.
I'll not be.
New Year's Day is on a Monday as well. That's cool.
Yeah, this will be done by New Year's. I'm not planning on carrying this into season 4, because season 4 will have a separate randomizer. Which I won't be looking into for a while, but I have asked around to try and get more collaborations going. There is maybe 1 or 2 others that I've considered. I will not put you through the same torture twice, don't worry. I think once is fine. I might get you to come back for another one at some point, but we'll let you breathe for a while. No Zelda next year for you.
Oh God! Thank goodness.
But I think when you do come back to another one, if you come back to another one, if you want to, next time you'll have a bit of an upper hand because you'll have experience with the game.
Yeah.
And I don't think you would like the next one anyway, because we're going to put a mod in the game where if one player dies, everybody falls.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those. So,
I don't know if you guys would like that, because that doesn't suck, because I ended up dying quite a bit, so.
Do you know, I think get yourself a mug of coffee, get yourself your favourite drink, right? Whatever you want to do, like coffee or water or whatever you want, right? I have got a Pepsi Max here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll play a little game at one point. Watch every one of the episodes in your own time, and for every time somebody dies, it's probably going to be Matt or you. Take a drink. You know, I want to say that at least I think I can account for every episode. I could be wrong, but every episode I think Matt dies. It's like South Park. It's like, oh my God, who killed Kenny? You know, it's like that's Matt's thing, and it surprises me the most because Matt usually does pretty well at these things. We played the last randomizer together, and I don't know if it's the double damage that's taken him by surprise or what, but yeah, he's suffering really bad. He's struggling quite bad. Trying not to die. So, but it's funny to watch. So, but yeah, enough about Zelda, because I feel like I talk about Zelda way too much, more than I'd like. But
I talk about Zelda way too much. Then
yeah, more than you're used to.
I just okay. Go ahead.
No, sorry. I you go. I want to hear.
Oh no, I was like, that game drives me freaking nuts. It's every time I try to play that game, it was like, even back when they came out with the first ones, like the Adventures of Link. I've always had issues. I don't think before now I've even tried to make it through the first level.
Yeah.
On the first game, like the first game, back when I was 17. 16.
On the original Nintendo, the 1986.
Yeah. 70. Yeah. No, actually, yeah. Because back then it was pretty expensive to get those things, so they took a few years before we could actually afford the game console. And I think by the time we actually had our hands on the game, it was freaking dawning. So my brother-in-law was the one who actually started all that crap. And like, he was obsessed with freaking Zelda. He liked Mega Man, and then the Mario Kart. He would play Mario Kart, that race, just over and over again.
Who doesn't like Mario Kart? So Mario Kart is fun.
Well, what's the name of that other racetrack game where you have the cars and then you can like freaking flip and go over into the other lane?
Oh, I don't know.
Was that Mario Kart where you could do that, where you could actually cheat?
I think there might be ways to do it. Yeah, Mario Kart 64. I'm sure there are ways to do that. Yeah. But I've got a question.
What?
Oh, you're not. Sorry. I thought you were finished.
I'm done.
It was just to see. Like, I remember you mentioning that. Is it your sister and her fiance at the time that were big fans of Zelda? Do they know? Does anyone do they know? And does anyone else in your family know that finally you are playing Zelda?
They know I play Pokemon. I can't let people know all the bad stuff. It was bad enough.
Pokemon is.
It's bad
Yeah.
enough they know I play Pokemon. They don't need to know nothing about this Zelda stuff, man.
Oh, yeah. Why not? Why? You know.
You got a reputation to uphold, man.
So okay, I'm curious. Then you've got me curious. What have they said about you playing Pokemon?
They to be honest, I mean, like, they didn't really react at all. I was like serious. Like, all the crap that I talked to them about when it comes to Pokemon, because these are the younger ones. Like, they do the card games and everything. They're obsessed with Pokemon, you know. And
Yeah.
Then like I was always growing up on D&D, and I have a nephew, Jake, who's into role-playing games too. And these guys would just talk shit on him because he was into D&D and everything. And I was like, hold on a minute. I was like, you guys are freaking how old now and you're still freaking playing Pokemon? And I'd start freaking bashing them about Pokemon. So now all of a sudden Uncle Roger's freaking playing Pokemon, saying how great it is and shit. And they're like, no reaction at all. No pot shots, no nothing. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the same could happen for Zelda. The same could happen for Zelda.
No, they must never know. And see, it's not the younger ones that need not know. It's the older ones. It's my sister and her frickin' fiance, her boyfriend.
Would that be like admitting defeat? I mean, if you admit that you even remotely slightly like the game, that would be like admit.
I wouldn't even admit to you that I like the game. I mean, seriously, you know, come on, seriously, you know. It's like if I did that, that'd be like every fiber of my being just torn out of me. You know what I mean? I can't deal with that. That's just too. Zelda is the one game that I just can't say that stuff about. Not openly say it. I can handle the Pokemon thing, but not Zelda.
Not Zelda, no. Because that only drag you back to do more.
it has a psychological issue going on there. You know what I mean? Like for older people who were around when that game first came out and later had to play it over and over and over and over. Like the stuff you play, that's high tech. You know what I mean? For me, that's high tech. That's like the new shit. Like I'm talking about.
But it's much. Yeah, it's much better though. I did play the one you're talking about. In fact, I completed that as well. It's on the channel as well, and I did that as a Christmas challenge. I don't know if you remember. It was one of the Christmas challenges I did. That game is insane. It's worse still that I had to go through the whole game with just the wooden sword, so I couldn't allow myself any upgrades. It is so hard to get through that, and I am so surprised. That was my first time completing that game as well. For that video, I'd never finished that game before, so that amazed me even more. But there's Zelda 2, Link's Adventure, or Adventure of Link. That game is like the Dark Souls of Zelda, and I can't look at it.
Yeah,
I just can't. It's one of those. I mean, I've been asked, "Can you play Zelda 2? Can you play?" And I'm like,
no.
No.
Someday.
Yeah.
And see, like Mega Man. Okay, I'm okay with playing Mega Man. If you guys want to get something going there, that would be an excellent game to play when it comes to that kind of forte. Like back then, people who usually played Zelda played Mega Man and Mario Kart and stuff like that. I'm cool.
I mean, I could do Mario Kart. Yeah. I'm not clued up on Mega Man as such. I don't know if there are multiplayer mods or it already has multiplayer within it.
No, I don't know if you can do multiplayer. It's been so long, I don't know if you could do multiplayer with Mega Man. So
yeah,
I'm not aware.
it would have to be. Yeah, it would have to be on the same scale. You know, like if we were the way you're talking about doing Mega Man the same as Zelda, it'd have to be, you know, on the same kind of scale where it was doable.
Yeah.
I've always seen Mega Man as a single player thing, and I've never really played any myself. But for any version of that I've seen, there is a challenge though that I enjoy watching occasionally. It's completing the whole of any Mega Man game without taking any damage. Now,
Oh, that would be interesting.
yeah,
That
and
would be
I've seen it, but I'm like, no, thank you. You'll not find that in any of my calendars.
Well, you know, the first speed run was actually on the original Mario Brothers, right?
No, I didn't know that. No,
Yep.
that's
The po-
interesting.
The portals and stuff. Like, there's so many portals on that game to get from level 1 to level 8.
Oh, you mean like in general level skipping? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that makes sense.
How fast can you get through? And I remember, like, it started dying off more after Mario World, but like they even went into doing it with Mario Brothers 2, with the ship and all that up in the sky. But like after they came out with Mario World, I think is when they slowed down on it and stopped doing it. But like doing speed runs on the original Mario Brothers might even be a good idea too.
I mean, if that's something that you want to do, I have never really played the original Mario. I've dabbled with it, but never really played the NES originals. I think my first proper Super Mario adventure would have been Mario 64, and I've got all 120 stars on that. I'm done. I've washed my hands of that game. I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong. Brilliant game. Tough in some areas, but for me, I was more of a Sonic guy than a Mario. So if ever I'm going to attempt to do speedruns, I would take on Sonic more than I would Mario. I mean, I wouldn't say no if it was a challenge, for example, but I wouldn't be very good at it.
I've done both of them. I gave up on both of them like a long time ago too. I think the last time I played Sonic was, well, when they came out with Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. and all that. And not like the old ones, but like the new ones where they throw the barrels.
Yeah.
When they came out with that one. That was...
Oh, I love Donkey Kong Country games. They're brilliant.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country, that was it.
I did the first one, was it last year, I think. I'm really wanting to do Donkey Kong Country 2, so I'll do that at some point. I don't think it'll be this year, maybe the next one, but I really want to get into that. And the music in that game as well is awesome.
Yeah.
But before we get to, I mean, we're getting really carried away, and I don't have a lot of time. But the airship thing, which is something we're going to be working on, because we're talking a lot about challenges anyway. As Zach mentioned before about doing voice work, I think I might mention it to you, or was it Matt? I don't know. It might have been last week. But you know how, like, I don't know if you saw the video that came up as a test, where you had the screen with all the clouds, and then the clouds would disappear, revealing whatever the square was. And there was like text boxes, the characters would pop up on screen, so like Infamous would come in. I'm hoping to have all of whatever, like, I want your real-time reactions to whatever the squares are. I'll write it in the text boxes, and then you guys are going to speak those lines on the video.
Okay.
Are you cool with that? You don't
Yeah.
need your face on it, you just need the voice.
Alright. We can do it.
So the start date for that is January, so it'll be not too long after, I guess, you're tidying up all your Infamous Arcade stuff by that point. I don't know if you're planning to do all Infamous Arcade this month, what's left of this month, but it's like jumping from that to Airship.
Alright. Yeah.
Only because Airship takes so long to kind of get together, you know how it is, and then there'll be whatever challenges that you face in between.
But yeah, we can. I mean, I can get the Infamous Arcade done within the month. I wasn't aware that you wanted just the 8, so that was good to know. So I can get the list done, and plus, it's good that I did do the Defender because, like you said, there actually is 9. So because of the extra day in the month, there's. Yeah. I was just checking that, and just use the Defender for the first one, and then I'll go into the next one on the list. Because you got that listed up there or down there, so I can actually get that started. I'll do Contra and then Ultra Beast. I've got 1 level of Contra already finished.
Oh, nice. I'm looking forward to that, to be fair, because that's one of the games I've always been intrigued to play. I've tried it myself, but never got very far. I think I got to I don't know what level, but I got to the first version of a level where you get to see behind the character rather than side-scrolling, and there was like laser beams and stuff you had to dodge, and I died there so many times. I was like, fuck this game.
There's so many different versions too of it. This one is like the old school Contra, just so you know, like when you start out with the frickin' cannons trying to shoot you from up and down, and then the guys are running at you, but they're not like huge, you know what I mean? Or it's not fast paced like in the one me and my son was doing. This one this one's the old one where. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it might be the same one I might have played, because it starts off. I mean, I don't know. I know there is a lot of Contra, but I don't know how many start the same way. The one I played was start off in the jungle, I think. But it is.
Yeah, it's in the jungle. I believe that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was the Xbox 360 Live Arcade version, which I believe was ported from the arcades. That's the version I tried to play, because back in the day I was a bit of an achievement hunter, so I would try and play whatever games I could to boost my gamer score. That just so happened to be one of them, and I don't think I've ever looked back. After dying so many times, I never looked back. But I would be down to playing like a 2-player on that. I'd probably get you killed, but at some point, you know, I'd definitely play 2-player. Like, I don't know if we share credits or whatever, I don't know how it works, but if, you know, relying on player 2 to stay alive means that you get to, you know, get through the game, you may not want to look at me as your tag team partner then, because I'm gonna ruin it for you.
It would be worth doing. I mean, I think it would be worth doing. So it's if any way that it goes, it's not like a huge issue. You know what I mean? we don't have to like do multiplayer or anything like that. It's just it is a good game to get going, you know, something that it's basically a cult classic is all I'm saying. It's kind of like what I said on Defender, you know what I mean? Like, to be honest, it is true. That was the game that all the people my age freaking stole quarters from their parents from, so they could go to the arcade and get a high score. You know what I mean? For Defender. Like, And like when you went to the arcades, your whole reputation seemed to depend on how well you played Defender. And I know that sucks in today's world, but that was just the way it was back then. You know what I mean? Like everybody freaking loved Defender. And it's like if you were playing those games, you had to know how to play it. Just plain and simple. Is it?
That's fair. Yeah. It's I mean, there's movies based on that kind of thing, you know, like I'm trying to think of the name of the movies now, but there are ones that base themselves, like video game movies, where the kid in the video game, in the movie, sorry, is trying to get that high score, or he gets a high score and he becomes famous or whatever. You know, there are.
Well, look at Tron.
Tron.
Look at Tron. You know what I mean? That was the game of all time. You know, when it came to video games, everybody freaking loved that movie because of the game. It wasn't it wasn't the other way around. You know, and I think that's what a lot of people today have a misconception of. It wasn't the movie that made the game; it was the game that made the movie. You know? Like, and today you can't even find an emulator that plays Tron, and that right there is weird to me. Like, I can find games to play a lot of other games, but Tron and the arcade version of Star Wars.
I wonder. I don't know if it's maybe a licensing thing with the ROM, or is it just? Did the ROMs exist?
I don't know. I haven't. I even tried to find Crash Derby, and Crash Derby is just it's gone. Nobody can play it. Nobody recorded it. Nobody kept it. Nobody even tried to make a ROM of it, so it's gone. I mean, it's sad because that was another arcade game where people would go in and there'd be 4 players. And you'd have to be on 4 corners of the arcade, and it was just a crash derby. You just started crashing into each other. And when the car caught on fire, your guy got out, and you had to run across the field, and then the other players had a chance of running you down.
That sounds fun. There's a lot of arcade titles out there that just, I don't know, that have just disappeared into the ether, you know. It's a shame.
Yeah. So.
But, you know, if give me a call when you want to play Gauntlet.
Yeah.
I want to play Gauntlet as well. I mean, that's definitely something. Brings me to my next question, actually. Have you ever played the original Doom?
Hold on a minute. You're talking about the ghost ship Doom, right? Doom.
Doom with the demons, yeah.
Let me
kind of
the old Doom, the computer version.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Two discs.
I think. Yeah. It's there's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and this is something that goes way back before we even started the channel, because we were trying to do this way back. Oh god, we're probably talking about 2017, 2016, something like that, something crazy. For another channel that we had, and we were limited to 4 players. I think the Xbox 360 had set it up that you could have up to 4 players in your party. It was co-op. It was on Nightmare difficulty, which meant that your enemies kept spawning back in all the time, and we called it Doom Nightmare Run. And the purpose was to get from level 1 to the end of the game successfully. You know, there was so many keys to grab and whatever, but the thing is, your health doesn't last as much. Like, you could get hit once or twice and then you just, you die, and then you respawn, whatever. I think there's unlimited lives and whatever, but it gets annoying eventually getting killed all the time, especially if you have the keys. But the great thing was you were relying on your team.
Yeah.
If one person was hiding in a corner but they had the key because one person in the group got the key, as long as that person stayed alive with the key, that person then became the one to protect, to try and get to the door, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, there is a mod for up to 72 players for Doom, and it runs on its own kind of server thing. Now, I'm not saying we'll get to 72 players, that would be nice, but we won't. I'm looking to get as many players in on this as possible to officially reboot the Nightmare run, because we never finished it. It's all the episodes of Doom, which I think there's 4 of, but each one has 8 levels in.
Mm-hmm.
So if we could get a mass group of people in on this, I'd love to be able to do that for like the second half of this year. I know that's a long way off, but by the time you organise something like this, you get a list of names. We would probably need that time to organise that and get it all set up and working and stuff. My initial thought would be to have everyone on the team, but we might even go beyond that, and whoever wants to do a collaboration with us as well, if that's something you think you'd be.
It sounds interesting. I mean, it does sound interesting. So, if you want to give it a try, we can do it. But you'd have to figure out how to put everything together,
Yeah, I've got the program for it, and I haven't. We downloaded this program in particular because we were going to reboot it when we started the channel up in 2020, and it was Scone, Cosmic, and myself that was looking at it. And we kind of got it to work, but it was kind of a complicated thing to get right. I think since then they've obviously made improvements and whatnot, so it's worth another look. But I will definitely look into it closer to the time, or not closer to the time, but maybe once I have cleared myself up some space, I can look at it and then get back to you on that.
This is actually
ask along to this thing.
This is actually a good idea that we're talking about this stuff. You know what I mean? Because that's something that we do need to do. We got to come up with some, basically try to go different directions. You know what I'm saying? And come up with some new content and everything. Because I'm even noticing that now, with the well, we were talking to you about what is it, Zelda. I'm even noticing, because you've been bringing it up about, and I've noticed on your channel how your ratings are going, or your views are going up, and even they're even doing good when I do just regular live stream on mine. They're getting 25 hits and stuff, and that's something new on my channel. I've never done Zelda, so I've noticed that on there as well. And
I mean, this is going back to something you were saying earlier about maybe keeping it on the down low. I mean, Zelda's boosting you a little bit. You might want to think about playing it more often.
Being honest, I've got to wait, because being honest, your Super Mario 64 was a better suggestion. It's still up on the top 5 for the entire year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's holding its weight against Asura's Wrath and freaking Modern Warfare. Okay, I mean, and I'm talking that's a big accomplishment right there. I mean, really, it is. I'm completely blown away with it. I mean,
I wonder if that's got something to do with the fact that it was re-released on the Switch.
it's. I
You know.
I can't say anything better about freaking Super Mario. You were right on the nose when it came to it. It was a good game. That was another game you had me do. Remember in the challenges and stuff. I'd never played it,
So it was, yeah.
and I can probably get the analytics on it real quick, and that way I can be precise on it. Okay. That content crap is ridiculous. It says the intros, but like here on your top content this period for the last 28 days, okay, is Asura's Wrath episode 12, 13 and 14, and then Super Mario 64 is number 6. Okay, and then King of the Monsters is number 8, and that's within 28 days. But in 365 days, I've got Asura's Wrath 12, 13, King of the Monsters 2 fell, which is 3, and then Super Mario 64 is 4. And it took Call of Duty Modern Warfare Part 2, alright, by...
Yeah.
Super Mario 64 Part 10 got 1,059 views, and Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Part 2 got 990.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is insane, but in a great way.
Yeah. And then Super Mario came back and got the 6th place, then the 8th place, and then the 10th place. King of the Monsters fell. My fails got 9th place and 3rd place. So within this whole year, frickin' Super Mario literally took the show.
Wow. And it's weird to think about because the game is older than most that you've played on the channel compared to some.
Yeah.
And it's still holding up. Wow. It's
And mind you, I've also played frickin' Red Dead Redemption, the first one. I played Need for Speed, Most Wanted. I played Need for Speed, what is that? Heat, that other one where frickin' it doesn't even have a storyline, you just race.
yeah.
I've played those 3. I mean, I
Is
played
it Burnout?
Huh?
Is it Burnout by any chance? No.
I can probably figure it out real quick. It was Need for Speed. I've got everything in a playlist, so I can pull it up real quick. Payday 2, I played that. I've done Gears of War 3, Control. You know, and when I'm bringing this up, just realize that frickin' Super Mario 64 outdid every single one of these. Hot Pursuit remastered. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I've done Shadows of Mordor, Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit. I mean, it goes on and on. And I even did Subnautica, you know, and well, Subnautica really wasn't that popular. A lot of people had arguments with it. But Need for Speed Most Wanted, did Def Jam's Fight for New York, Red Dead Redemption, The Elder Scrolls Online. I've done, what else? Forgotten Realms. I've done my whole storylines and stuff for them. I haven't done Baldur's Gate or anything, which is Forgotten Realms, but I should go and do that. I've done Neverwinter Nights, which is freaking Forgotten Realms. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing touches that game is my whole point. Like, Super Mario 64 is the champion. I mean, it's not number one. Don't get me wrong. Asura's Wrath, you know, it went viral, but when it comes to the entire year, man, Super Mario took the show. And
yeah.
There's just no way of disputing that. I was really amazed.
It's great. It's great too, to be honest. It's still getting that much love. What? How many years on? Maybe. Well, it was 96, I think. So almost 20 years.
96.
Almost 20 years.
96.
Oh, 30 years. 30.
16.
Yeah, 30 years. My bad.
Yeah.
Nearly 30 years.
Going on 30 years.
Jeez, oh.
You know, that's amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
And the only one that came close to competing with it is Asura's Wrath and King of the Monsters. But I'd say Asura's Wrath is the only one that came close. That was only because
there you go.
That was only because it got first and went viral. It hit 39,000 and for episode 12. And
that's the finale, isn't it?
Yeah. And then the 13th episode was 2,121. And then the 14th was the finale. And that one was only 726. But nobody wants to see the finale for that. They want to see the fight.
So, was it the fight? I was going to ask, what was so big about that particular part in the game that everybody came to view that? That was going to be my question, but I guess
it's
the big fight.
It's pretty insane, to be honest with you. It really is. The fight scene, the thing about Asura's Wrath is it's kind of like a freaking crazy anime / Buddhist / Hindu video game. So you've got like freaking ancient astronaut crazy bullshit going on that game, as well as all of what I just mentioned mixed in. You know what I mean? Like, they're flying around in spaceships and shit, but at the same time, these spaceships are like all related to mantras and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
sounds pretty crazy.
it really is. It's fun. It's not hard. The game's not hard at all, but it's really fun to play. That's the best way I can say it. But it gets a lot of attention. I was really amazed by it.
So on Super Mario 64, I mean, we were talking before about doing a co-op on that. That's.
I'd love to do that.
Well, I mean, I was going to do it as well, but due to how extensive this year has got, I did put up a post about whether, like, I guess I was going to do it if nobody else wanted to, and then look for a partner to, play the game with. But Dr. G was the first one to respond and said that she'd be happy to do it with Matt. So that's now been passed on to them. But, if that one does really well, we can always do another one, because it's going to be like the randomizer, I guess, where you can bring in more than one other friend. So, but yeah, I think Super Mario 64, the numbers are crazy, so that is one to look at. I mean, I'm not so much I guess I'm not really bothered about how popular something is. I just play whatever I enjoy, and if there are new ways to enjoy that, like having friends play Zelda, because that was a dream for me back in the day. You know, it was a one-player game. It was an adventure. The story was cool, whatever. But having your friends come in is like a dream my 9-year-old self had back then. It's now a reality today. So if I could get, if there's mods for say GoldenEye 007 and you can all run about as secret agents and do stuff, whatever, I'm down for it. You know, any game that has a mod that especially has multiplayer mods within it, I'm there. So
no, that one that we've been using for the randomizer on Zelda, do they have other games?
They have, well, you're not going to like this, but they have Zelda Majora's Mask, which is a sequel to Ocarina of Time. They have Banjo-Kazooie, which is a game made by Rare, same creative group that, or team, or company, however you want to say it, that made GoldenEye and Donkey Kong Country and whatnot. I don't know how it works. I've never tested these games out, but it works for Super Mario 64. Banjo-Kazooie, not sure if the sequel for Banjo-Kazooie is involved in that. Zelda Majora's Mask, and I believe, I want to say, a game called Mischief Makers, which was on the Nintendo 64 also, although I never played that either, so I don't really know. I know they exist, I know that the possibilities are there. I just have never played any of them outside of randomizer. I tried the Mario one. I tried to set the Mario one up, and I was using a different emulator at the time. It kind of worked for a moment, and then it didn't. It was a bit janky, so I've never used it since then. But rumor has it there are ones out there, so I mean you get them on YouTube as well. So if you look it up on YouTube, you'll get like Super Mario co-op as well.
Yeah. And you know, I agree with you on that and everything, but like the numbers for me is on this one is really outstanding. I mean, I would say the same thing if it wasn't for the actual, I mean, how great this game did. You know what I mean? Like, you're not hearing me freaking stand up and jumping and shouting about freaking Pokemon Yellow, are you? You know?
Oh no.
And you know, I enjoyed it. You know, I did. I enjoyed playing it after I was done. You know, and I can openly say it. But I mean, you're not hearing me compare Pokemon Yellow to freaking, or like I'm to Super all these other games, you know, like I am with Super Mario 64, which, being honest with you, I mean, I didn't like it as much as I did Pokemon, being honest. I mean, I enjoyed playing Pokemon more than I did Super Mario 64.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just, it surprises you. So, I mean, we're all on this planet with different tastes. Because if we were all the same, it'd be pretty boring. But, well, you know, it's...
You know what the problem is, though, right? Like, you guys are like young bucks. You're youngins. You guys played the new stuff, where, like, with my generation, we freaking aren't used to the stuff you're playing. You know what I mean? And like, you guys are freaking used to being the old guys because like freaking people like, well, younger people who are in their 20s and teens. You know what I mean? They're not used to Super Mario 64. You know.
So we're like the fathers of gaming, and you're like the grandfathers of gaming. Is that what you're trying to say?
Basically, yeah. It sucks hearing it, but thanks. I appreciate that.
And now the beard makes sense, you know.
I mean, like
You're the wise.
the games that you have me playing. In all honesty, I mean they're not what I grew up on. You know what I mean? It was like it just they weren't there, and it's for me it's actually a different. It's a different setup. You know what I mean? It's not the same as what it was whenever I remember doing all that stuff. So it's just different. Is all that it is. It's nothing bad or nothing good. You know, just it's different. And getting used to it. I'm still having to get used to the games that you guys have played. I mean, I'm not used to. Like your stuff is actually newer for me. I'm not used to all that stuff when it comes to older games.
It's a whole era of gaming that you probably skipped out on.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is fair, you know.
I never played, you know, those games. Sonic used to annoy me. I mean, it used to annoy me because you held down on a button and you spun, and then, like, it seemed like you were cheating. You know what I mean? Because you just sped through the levels. Whereas Mario Brothers, you had to jump on top of things and freaking go through pipes and stuff like that. Where Sonic, you sped through it and you had to do the loops. And
you clearly never played through Sonic well enough then, because there's a common thing, and I agree with this, where Sonic and underwater levels do not mix very well. There's a level in the first Sonic game on the Genesis. I don't think it's the Mega Drive, not the Mega Drive, the Master System version. It's the Genesis where you're going through the labyrinth zone. And that place is just a nightmare. It's a nightmare. It's just water-filled nightmare. So, and Sonic goes really super slow in that when he's underwater. Plus, there's traps and obstacles and everything. So it's a bit more like Mario there, because everything's slowed down and you need to take your time and navigate and whatever. But I mean, if you gave up in the early stages of the game, where you're just looking around things, and you clearly didn't get to the. You missed something. You missed something special.
I may have beaten it. It's just been so long ago. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I didn't give up on it. Like I actually played. I had to play frickin' Sonic, because like with Sonic the Hedgehog, everybody wanted to play Sonic the Hedgehog. You know what I mean? It wasn't something you could avoid. You could avoid other games, but for some reason, like, that was the game that you just couldn't get away from, no matter what. It was always there, always haunting your every move.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's true.
It literally was like you could not get away from people wanting you to play that game ever. Like, I don't know if
it was my.
Oh, go ahead.
It was my first ever game.
Yeah.
It was Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, it was my brother's console and his game and stuff, and I used to sneak when he used to go to like school and stuff. I was too young for school back then. I used to sneak on his console when he was away in the morning to go to school, and I would be like, okay, Sonic time. I learned to play games through Sonic. Although I got to that lava level, I think the second area where the lava chases you, or whatever it was, the second zone. And I, as a 6-year-old, no, I wasn't even 6. I think I was 4 or 5. I don't know. I was that young when I learned to pick up and play with the controller, and I could never get past that part with the lava. I always remember asking my brother to do it,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was my first game.
I had to start playing Sonic back when I was about 19, maybe 19, and I remember my friend. He's my friend now. His name's Stephen Lee, and back then he was like 14 or 15 years old. And when I first met him, like Steven was like this huge kid, dude. Freaking, he was like 14 years old, and I thought he was like right around my age and shit, right? Him and Mike Albrecht, who was just like Steven, they were both like these oversized kids, dude, 14 and 15 years old. And freaking Steven looks over at me and goes, "Hey man, you want to come upstairs and smoke?" And I'm like, yeah, dude, let's do it, you know, because I'm like freaking 19, I was still smoking pot and everything. I'm like, let's do it, let's go upstairs, you know. Fucking, I get upstairs and these fuckers are like poking up into the closet and shit, and they pull out a baggie and there's like fucking cigarette tobacco or in there, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? And I'm like, yeah. And then I stopped and I had to back up and I was like, how old are you? And he said, I'm 14. I'm like, oh my god, dude. And from that day on, I had to play Super Mario's with him. Freaking 5 years younger than me. And he latched on to me, and that was how I had to freaking play freaking Sega with him.
Fair. That's fair.
That was the beginning of my Sonic the Hedgehog adventures.
An interesting start as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't think many start like that. But
he does. He goes, hey man, you want to smoke? I was like, oh hell yeah, dude. Like, I was all depressed because I had to be there and shit, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody was there that was my age, and then these two come along. I'm like, hey, these guys look about my age, so it's ridiculous. So I'm
going to kind of wrap this up a little bit. I think we've pretty much covered everything for now, because I don't want to get too far into it.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing for the end of this year, which is just plainly Zelda randomizer, finishing that up. Then going into Infamous Arcade come January. I've got February with Final Fantasy 2, and March I think Matt's gonna do. I mean, I have no problem. I would even invite the idea of having, you know, a couple of things running per month rather than it just being focused on one. But we're only starting off early and everyone's trying to get into the rhythm and whatnot. So once we find our footing, then we can explore and look at, like, you know, days of the week in each month where it's like, okay, so Matt's got this day and Roger's got this day and I've got this day, you know. But to start things off, it's going to be a kind of slow build, so it's like you, then me, then Matt, and then in April, that's as far as the schedule goes right now, is up to April, it's the airship thing, which should involve every one of us. Now, I don't know what's happening with Dr. G's Pokemon Green playthrough. I would like to think that she'll surprise me and say that she's already started working on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really think that will be the case. I'm kind of expecting it maybe later on, kind of maybe around March even. If her and Matt split days up, then that's fine as well. I would like to ask you though, because we never really addressed the situation, and I don't know how much of the situation you know about Karma and what's going on with Karma, because I know that she briefly joined and then
Karma she kind of went her own way. So like she ended up like literally flipping out on one of my episodes. I was doing a history stream, and we were going over the Canaanites, and I should have known better than to frickin' do that with other people, because like when you cover that topic, it's really controversial, you know.
Oh,
and,
right.
And like there's a part in the Canaanites where it talks about like with religion, they believe that like these Canaanites sacrificed their babies to frickin' Baal, Moloch, or yeah, and I pointed it out that there's no evidence archaeologically that that's the case. There's no proof that this Moloch Baal even existed, you know what I mean, archaeologically, and she just freaking flipped out, dude, because she started listening to people who were telling her that freaking like Jews ate babies and shit, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
or sacrificed babies and stuff, and like she didn't understand that these were like the blood libels and that they're like really, really bad racists shit, you know. And
Yeah.
well, needless to say, me and her ended up getting into a freaking fight, an argument on the internet over a history freaking stream, which
Yeah.
didn't turn out too good. And yeah, we basically had to go separate ways, you know what I mean?
Right. Okay. So that's the reason behind why she's left.
Yeah.
The Stargate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that. Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, dude, you know, and the thing is like she's a black woman, you know what I mean? That's the thing that I don't understand why she believes that crap. Being a freaking black woman, I'm not gonna put up with that stuff. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. You know.
I mean,
she's
I
a great
wasn't
person.
sure. Yeah.
She's a great person.
No, definitely.
She is. But I just can't.
It's just because. Sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I remember that upon doing the second interview, that she appeared in the panel for a while, and you know, I'm assuming that the argument that you're talking about was before that, because she'd already left Team Retro by that point.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether you're still on talking terms with her, or just completely going your separate ways now, or how it works. Or
we say hi and we say bye, and that's about it. You know, I'm okay with her. You know what I mean? As long as she can give that stuff up, and she is alright to be around me, I don't have any problem with it, but that's completely up to her. But that kind of behavior is not going to happen on any of my streams, you know what I'm saying? I'm not that kind of a person, you know me. I'm not going to go that direction, you know. So
yeah, that's totally understandable. I you know, I don't disagree with you on that at all. So I mean, my question was only going to be, because initially I thought maybe, you know, she was really very busy with her own personal life, and you know, I know she's got kids and whatnot, but
she said she had a job that she was starting on and everything, you know, but like, and a lot of that could be true, but like, she's from a rich family, she doesn't have to work. You know what I mean? Where a lot of it really started was when Mr. Robot said some stuff in a stream about cryptocurrency, telling her and all of us, like, well, if you get ripped off on cryptocurrency, you get what you deserve. And she'd just previously been ripped off for like $2,000 worth of cryptocurrency. So she flipped out there first, and then started saying that he was Elon Musk trying to steal her shit. You know? And it kept building up and building up, and like that's when all of a sudden she had a job and she couldn't spend time doing this and doing that, and I could see it coming. Like, she would come on, and if Mr. Robot was on the stream with us, freaking she'd just go silent and she wouldn't say nothing. So yeah, but there was a lot more going on, but
I see.
all of a sudden she was backing out of wanting to do the gaming, and she had this to do, and you know, and it's fine, but you know, I can't get it. She's got some mental problems that she has to deal with, and I just hope the best for her.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, same here. I mean, my question was going to be related to the Pokemon thing. You know, if all this hadn't happened and whatnot, I was going to say, you know, if we left the Pokemon playthrough to, you know, an unspecified time in the future, do you think that she would be down for that? But given some of the comments, things,
that's why I said all that stuff is so that you were completely aware of what was going on there, and I just don't see it happening.
No, I don't think, because even if it, you know, she's doing it on her own, whatever, I'd help her through. I feel like it's one of those that if she's got a lot of stuff going on and I'm looking to have it finished, she might never get round to finishing it, and it would just cause more stress for me. Yeah. So it's like, you better not starting what you don't think you can finish. So I mean, again, you know, I hope that she's good and that everything in her life is going really well, but I guess I'll just look at it as a, you know, a what could have been, because I spent hours, man, on that character that she wanted me to create, you know. She was coming on with a list of demands, well, not demands as such, but you know, kind of,
that's what they were.
I want my hair this way, and, you know, can I have a lasso and you know, leather pants and boots, and you know, can you make her more and I spent literal hours on this. In fact, it was probably the longest one that I had made, over 2 days, because when I put up the first draft, she's like, can you change this, can you change that? I was like, yeah, okay. And then like a week or two later, I find out she's not wanting to be part of it, and I'm like, what the hell? You know, but now I understand why.
I know. And the reason why I had her on my streams was because she freaking seemed to be enthusiastic about it, you know what I mean? And every time I ended up doing a stream, she was always showing up. But like as time went on, you know, she went from being positive to just kind of flipping out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, like the stuff I told you, that started popping out in little comments here and there. And I was like, and even old John talked to her and said, look, you know, that's kind of not cool about that stuff.
So what's happening with her server then? Because I noticed that it's still running, but like, is her channel even still running?
I've gone on there and I've checked, and like she's made posts on YouTube. I think she made 1 or 2 posts on YouTube, but like on Discord she's not even posting up there. It's and then like I don't know, it's kind of sad, to be honest with you. Like, it really is.
Yeah. I mean,
that's just
sorry, on you go.
That's just the best way of saying it. It's just I really feel bad that things had to happen the way they did, you know, but it's one of those decisions that you got to make. You can't freaking avoid it.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, as I briefly mentioned in the the interview that I did with you, and we started out with 5. There was, including myself, there was 5, and I mean, we came up with the idea. Well, there was a idea that was passed around in the late part of 2019. It wouldn't be to the following year that we'd really get things going, but at the same time, COVID was a thing. It just started. So one of our members, who at the time was the only female member, had to back out because her profession was a radiographer at the hospital, one of the hospitals in Glasgow, and therefore her time was taken up completely with, you know, the pandemic. So that was understandable. Obviously, we weren't going to see her, so you have to make changes all the time and expect things to go wrong. But as we got further into, like, we were just building, I've seen other members just drop off. And I've never openly spoke about it because Cosmic was the last one to drop off, I guess you could say, from the original group. I mean, it was just it just so happened that it was at a time where we'd established a new team anyway, so I'm not going to say I didn't feel the change or the loss with Cosmic dropping out, because that's not true. I mean, you feel it with anyone. But what's always affected me as we've went on is the not known. You know, it's always been clear to me that these decisions have been made. They've sat and thought about it or whatever. You know, like Sconey did the same. He actually felt, excuse me, he felt ill for a time, and then he came back, and then talked about coming back, like on a more regular basis, and never showed up at all. I've had Boots. Yeah, Boots also. He was getting married during, I think, the 3rd season it was, and he didn't do anything for the 3rd season at all because he said before that he wanted to take the year to save up and work extra hard in order to save up for his wedding. And I was like, yeah, I mean, totally, man, that's cool. And we haven't spoken in over 2 years, and I don't know why. He's never given me a reason why. I sent him a bunch of messages, he just ignored them. I don't know what went on there. And the same kind of thing happened with Cosmic, and it kind of happens a little bit with Sconey, but Sconey never read his messages anyway, so that's a common thing. But my point is, I think from this point forward, if anyone on the team wanted to leave, or, you know, felt like, you know, there's only so much more of this that I'm going to be able to do here, I think I'm going to at least make it clear to everybody, you know, can you let me know well in advance before you do something like that? Because it's, unless it's like sudden, you know, something terrible has happened, or there's a, you know, an illness, it's something that's unpredictable.
Well,
then that's you know, that,
you know, there's something that I really believe in, and I've mentioned this to you before. It's this channel, you know, this Discord channel is something that really we should look at, you know, and take more seriously, because it's cool to have like YouTube, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, it is cool. You got your YouTube channel, first of all, that everything rotates around, right? But look at freaking here's a good example would be Home Away from YouTube, okay? Now, if you remember, freaking, it was what's her face? Bug. I have a blackout. It was
yeah. Just call this individual person X.
Yeah,
for the sake of the
No. she's the one who started it, right? And
Yeah.
it hit off and it did really good, but then she walked away from it. Now she turns around and she started up that gaming cave, which has absolutely nothing to do with freaking YouTubers and streaming, and it's freaking hitting off great. You see, and all they do is they go in there and they play video games with one another, completely separate from YouTube altogether. You see.
Yeah.
So she's got like a standalone Discord channel that freaking relies completely on players rather than videos.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like, it's a good way to keep in line with a community, build a big friendship and whatnot. Like, I get that as well, and I really want to explore that on the Discord. But you've seen it yourself. Not many people interact.
Yeah.
They either don't appear online or don't turn on their notifications, or it's like half the time they're only bothered when they're called, kind of thing.
And see, that's our adventure, though. You see, that's what me and you have to figure out. We got to figure out how to get these people activated.
Everybody's got their thing that gets them going, and and other people are just like, it's a 5-minute thing for them, where it's like, oh, it's cool, I like this idea, whatever, and then it's like, yeah, don't really hear from them for like 10 times, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I've learned in this.
Oh shit.
Stuff is going on.
Okay.
But have all the thought of
Oh man. You there?
Yeah.
I'm getting kind of a weird sound coming from. Yeah. You should hear this. Let me go ahead and stop all this, and then I'll freaking come back on. Maybe that's the issue. We're having some problems. So, okay. Like, you should hear this. You should hear this. I'm not even getting your mic real quick. Okay, say something real quick. Are you there? Wow. Team, yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah, see, now I can't even hear you. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream and stuff since it's getting bad. And then we can come back and talk about this in a little bit. It's already like at I think it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours, so I'll just stop the streaming and everything. And we can keep talking. I think Rumble cut me off is what happened. What? Oh wow, YouTube even freaking was streaming.
Oh, there you are.
Oh,
You're
wow.
back.
That freaked me out. YouTube was even streaming.
Yeah?
Let me go in on YouTube, because don't you... I'm gonna check my freaking Creator Studio, YouTube Studio.
I'm on your channel just now and I'm looking at your live videos, and
yeah, I don't see it.
yeah, I don't see it either. The last one you streamed was 5 days ago, and that was the Zelda one.
Yeah. Well, let me see if that's on my main account too. No, it's not it. Well, what was the last one? That's my
The last one is Gaming with Infamous, Rapid, Matt, and me
yeah.
playing Zelda.
Yeah, so it didn't, that was weird.
Did it have like a pop-up window or something that said that your stream, something wrong with your stream?
I'm going through and checking the branded channels, just because on the thing it'll show if it was just recently streamed or not.
Yeah.
Latest video, Infamous 2. No, that's it. That's weird how it did that.
Yeah.
That is really weird. So what I did is I went ahead and I bought the rest of it to stop. We're still streaming on we're still streaming on Rumble. Oh, so. But
Okay.
it should be good to go. I went ahead and I stopped it anyhow. We really needed to stop doing this. Oh. So.
Yeah, no, it's getting really late here for me. So
Yeah.
I mean, I've basically covered everything I wanted to cover with you. I want to get season 4 rolling. So the first 4 months of the year has a blueprint, if you want to call it that. Obviously, we know what we want to finish up on here, and of course, I wanted to know what your feelings were on certain things.
I'm
about
okay.
the Discord.
Just rest assured, I'm okay with everything. Okay, it's just like things have gotten hectic in real life with real life situations. For one, my mom, and we've discussed that, and
Yeah.
I'm having to like adjust. It's always about adjusting to situations, like with everything, you know what I mean? And this is what it basically comes down. I've got to adjust and try to wade through it. That's what it feels like. It feels like wading through water, just take it as it comes in front of you. I know what we're doing, like we're having this conversation, I know what needs to be done, but I still have to make sure that I keep it focused on a day-to-day basis. This is what I gotta do, and this is what I gotta do today,
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, that's basically how my days are as well. Like, everything's it's already set, kind of thing. Like, I am either in work or I'm going to be editing one day, or I've got an appointment another day, and it's, I have everything set out in front of me, and as long as I know what's still to come, kind of set out in front of me, like planned at least, or as well as I can plan it. Like, nothing ever goes to plan, or not everything ever goes to plan.
Ever.
But
ever.
Ever.
Never, ever. Let's make
but
that
if I
clear.
can try.
Let's make that clear. Ever.
Yeah.
I wish one time, things would work out right the way they're supposed to. I wish that it did, but it doesn't ever do that. So
I tend to be. Well, I mean, I wish that.
You there?
There's my trail of thought that's kind of going. That shows you I'm getting tired.
Yeah,
what I really want is from the team, especially, like that means what I said. I really mean, like, I get that everybody has their own things going on. We all do. We all have, life outside of the channel. The channel is more of a hobby, but I would really appreciate if, don't see what Scony and Cosmic have done as an example, like just abandon and just drop and disappear. At least I would like to think that everybody here, we all communicate really well. Like, I feel like this is the best version of the team. This is, like, we had the idea of a team before, but we were never a team. This here is a working team.
Yeah.
And I would like to think that going forward, if there's ever a time when someone gets up and decides, you know what, this is not for me anymore, they would at least give me enough notice so that we can say, well, okay, we'll work on this, and then, you know, or at least, because what hurts the channel more, I feel, is like leaving things unfinished.
Yeah.
Cosmic has just dropped all and abandoned ship, and it's left me with projects that are, even to this day, still on the channel but unfinished because he's decided not to do anything else. And it's not just him, there's been a couple more that's done that as well, and I would just like to think that going forward, you know, not using those as examples, everyone else would be able to at least some point tell me, you know, I'll finish this up, but after this, man, I'm done. And I'd be like, yeah, fair enough, you know, thank you at least for
being honest,
for giving me the yeah.
And I want to apologize about that stuff with Karma too, because like it was a big deal freaking to find, you know, somebody who actually was willing to freaking come on and do stuff with us, you know. I mean, it's not too many people. You're the thing that you're doing that's really unique is the fact that you're able to freaking get people to do these challenges. I mean, I've rarely found anybody who can do that, and then when she was willing to do it, it just kind of made things pretty cool, you know. But then, like, all of a sudden, she just turned, you know, like at the snap of the finger, she just like changed, and I seen it coming, but I was too. I really should have said something. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't, and I felt bad about it. But at the same time, I felt bad about what was happening to her, and she can't see that for herself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I appreciate you, you know, saying that, but I don't hold you responsible for you know, karma and our decisions. But I mean, at the same time, now at least I understand why. And
well, you're my friend too, so for me, it wasn't just the fact that me saying that frickin' I'm responsible, but you're my friend, and it's my place to apologize to you. That's what friends do. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying it as well, is because I apologize for that. You know, as a friend,
yeah, I appreciate that. Really, I truly do.
You know,
and I think, I don't know. I think with how I spoke about the, you know, the people that I worked with before, and the people that I'm working with now, there's such a difference. At least everybody here who's on the team has or knows how channels work. Like you've got your channel, the goblins have their channel, Zach has his channel. Everybody feels the weight and the pressure of their own channels, and therefore that's the kind of team, you know, is going to be stronger, because everybody knows what it's like. It's all the ones who don't really know or think it's just fine to kind of, you know,
play around.
Not speaking for karma here, but like I nobody else has told me or given me any other reason than just to assume that they're just dropping out because that's what they want to do. They've never spoke to me or said anything else. It's just like pulling the plug and that's it. But I think I can go forward in confidence, knowing that, you know, unless you each individually feel something is happening in your own lives that you need to step down or back out or whatever. Like, you're not just going to drop the same way that they have. And I think I'm more confident now to plan more because I'm not worried that someone's just going to drop off. You know, and when that happened with Karma, before I knew what the story behind it was, it made me kind of like weary as to like, who do I then invite next into this team?
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I mean, it's crazy.
But I know with Zach,
I'm feeling the same way. Like with these streams right now, I'm backing off of them. You know, I know that everybody that I've been doing it with freaking is seeing it too. But like I tell Tan and them, I'm like, well, things are gonna have to change. I can't have all this crazy stuff on here because like I go through different topics and a lot of them are pretty strange, and with that comes strange and weird people, you know. And I mean, I stopped doing a lot of that stuff a long time ago because I didn't like the way that it was, and I got caught up into the video games and stuff. But at the same time, I want to have the opportunity to do interviews and stuff like that. I love that stuff, you know. So I'm kind of caught in between what I want to do and what I don't want to do.
Yeah.
Because I
agree.
I don't want to be 60 years old playing frickin', you know, video games for views and shit. I know everybody frickin' thinks that's mean to say, but look, dude, I'm 50 years old. You know what I mean? If you're 30 or 20 and you got frickin' all that years behind you or ahead of you, I mean, you know, you don't have to worry about that stuff. But I'm 50 years old, man. I've only got maybe 10, 15 years still good in me, you know.
Oh no, I don't. I mean, I get where you're coming from, but you know, I think for me, this is like I don't even know what I would say this is. I'm enjoying it right now.
Mm-hmm.
That much I know, but I don't want this to be the thing that defines my life. Like, I want to have my own family, have kids, whatever. You know, just do more than this. Not that I'm not enjoying it, but
yeah, I'm enjoying it too. Don't get me wrong. Okay, I am enjoying it, but like when it comes to video and making content, I want more. You know, I don't want it to just pertain to video games and stuff like that. I love working on Blender. I love doing the graphics, stuff like that. You know, and you know, I enjoy freaking doing interviews with people and freaking doing the content that I've come out with. I've done it even the whole time that I've been doing the gaming, you know. I actually slowed down on the gaming so that I could do that stuff. And it's just weird how all that ends up. It really is.
I'm gonna... Yeah. I totally agree with what you're saying. I wanted to ask you this one question because I'm going to do an interview with you someday. Like, I know you're the one that's hosting all these interviews, and that's great, but I don't think anyone's ever really given you an interview. At least I don't know anyway, if maybe Zach has or what. But I spoke. You're the only one on the team I'm going to tell about this because I haven't really, I've not really given it too much thought. I've got like a base idea for what I want to do, but retro isn't the only channel I'd like to have as, you know, something that I leave behind. I want to do something similar to what you're talking about there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to find what I've done with it. There we are. So the second channel that I've been thinking about is going to be a mixture between gaming or live gaming, but also podcasts and interviews. The gaming side of things it'll be live, whatever. This is the logo for it. So,
Oh, that's cool.
we did actually have what is it? The old logo. We were trying this during season 2. It's a bit crap, but we tried something in season 2 and we couldn't stick to it. However, with what you've been doing has been giving me a lot of that kind of similar feelings again, you know, that process about doing these podcasts and stuff, and I want to be able, I think I've found the right person for it, which is you. And Zach obviously has now joined, and I think that he might get in on this eventually as well. Now, I'm not looking to start it up next year because we've already got enough going on, both in what we do outside of retro and channels in general, but it is something I would be looking to do. And if you wanted in on it as well, I'd be down for that.
I'd love it.
Because that would get us away from the gaming scene, you know, at least the playing side of it for a while. We can discuss a number of topics on there.
And
most, obviously,
a lot of the people that we've got who's supporters, who are like for real supporters, are the ones like aren't even doing, you know, gaming all the time, like darker things. I mean, do you realize how much darker things does support everything that freaking we're doing? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, he actually is gung-ho on it, and his son is the one who's the freaking real gamer. He loves the game, don't get me wrong, but it's his son who does the gaming most of the time, you know? And, like, then you've got Zach. Zach does Disney. And that was the one thing, too, why I was thinking, you know, do something with, like, Home Away from Disney. So, there you go.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button. I meant to stop the screen share and I hit the disconnect call. Sorry.
I've done that too. But that's the reason why I decided to do it on Home Away from YouTube, you know what I mean? Because, like, so next round table is Old John, Wednesday, 5 a.m. He just asked if, you know, I gotta respond. But yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, you've got Zach who does that, you know what I mean? And it's like, he's actually freaking got good content. He that Disney stuff is pretty tight stuff.
It is. It really is. And I'm watching your channels grow, man, because I don't even have to click on your channel, other than the videos, obviously, through WLC, but on my channel, I have, what's that section called now? You know the bit where you have like the other channel, the other supporting channel?
Recommendations.
Yeah. Thank you. That's the one. So yeah, I've got like 6 up there. I've got yours and Zach's as 2 of them. And you know, of course, it shows you a subscriber count underneath, and every day that they're growing. You know, I mean, heck, you're 9 away from 300. You're catching up to where it took us long enough to get to 300, and
I don't know how that's happening either. When I was telling you that before, I mean, I'm not joking. I have no idea how that's happening at all.
I think it's due to luck mostly. I think as well, like the algorithm and you know, the suggestions that YouTube make after watching maybe someone's video, and that Azura's Wrath, that's popular as hell. You know, that 39,000 views, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Most of you are... probably most...
I haven't gotten one that big. That's the first one.
Yeah. And that's awesome. I mean, even... Zach, he's at 71 right now. I'm sure I looked earlier on and he was like in mid-60s. I'm like... You know... In fact, it was only 2 days ago? 3 days ago? I could be wrong. Earlier this week. He was at 61. So he's jumped up at least 10 in the last week, I would think.
Yeah.
I would say. And that's great.
It's amazing, really. It really is. Well, let me see. I'll see.
I mean, there's also...
Now, I did the 365 days, but out of the lifetime one, Asura's Wrath has 39,558 views. Then Asura's Wrath part 13 or 12, episode 12, and then episode 13 has 2,121.
Does it tell you though how your audience are coming across this? Because I know that certain videos will tell you like how they're finding that video, like whether it's through suggestions or links or
when it tells me the time period, it started happening on November the 8th at 8 a.m. First 170 days, 2,222. Typical in this period is 10 to 30. And then it started going up on November the 11th to 3,027 until December the 4th, where it was at 39,851. And that's...
See? It's all good. It's all good, man.
It just...
That's better than good.
It's really weird. The only thing I can say is I've heard that some videos do go viral where it just, you know, bam, all of a sudden there it is. It hits like thousands, and I think you have to hit well, to go viral you have to hit how many thousands?
What for to become a partner in the program?
No, just for a video to go viral.
Oh, I don't know.
Like, I think it's 2,000 views or something like that.
I've got one live video I did last year during season 3, which is the only video to date that has ever had an exceedingly crazy amount of views. 1,946 views. Hold on, is there another one? No, that's the only one. And it's I was live streaming Yoshi's Story. Now I've done 4 of these live streams, but that one seemed to hit the most. And I can't even explain to you why. I think maybe the title had something to do with it, because it didn't get a lot of likes. It got 11 likes actually. Yeah, so it did get a lot. And 6 comments and whatnot, but I don't know. These things just have a funny way of happening all of a sudden, and I can't explain it, but it's great when it does.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I'm excited about.
The average percentage viewed on this one was 16.4%. The average view duration was 3 minutes and 22 seconds, which is good actually, because they're talking about the average. They average it out compared to all the other videos.
Yeah.
So that could be good. I don't know. I don't like the whole thing about averages and sums, because I know what that actually means. Like, you're not getting the actual view, you're getting the average view compared to all the other videos. So
Well, that's one thing I'm excited about this year. Going into season 4 is, and I'll talk to you about it next time as well if you want. But it's the return of live streaming on the channel, which is something that I only did on season 3. It gives me a chance to do more games. But if you want in on that, of course I'd have to share the finer details of the channel, like the password and stuff, and the stream key and whatnot, which is not a problem. But if you ever wanted to just get on there and stream something retro, you just want to get in on that, then that's something we can look at. But that'll not be until after the airship thing. My cut off right now is to focus on the first quarter of next year, and we've already got quite a bit to be getting on with, so I don't want to overload.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. So let me get off here and let you go to bed. It's got to be what,
3 a.m. almost.
Oh my god. You need to get some sleep, man.
I know. I've been working myself into a sleeping pattern now that I'm back to work, and it was starting to work there, but now I'm just going to throw all that to shit. So I guess the next time I'll
get an alarm clock.
Yeah, well, I've got my alarm on my phone, but
Yeah, get a real one. Don't mess around with the phone and stuff like that. Get you one sitting right up next to your bed. It goes beep, 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 beep.
The thing is, man, right? I set an alarm for work yesterday morning. I got up about 6 a.m. and to go to the toilet and go back to bed. But as I got back to bed, I couldn't sleep. I was awake. My alarm wasn't due to go off for another 2 hours, and I couldn't sleep. I must have had 4 hours sleep that whole day.
Yeah.
And it was killing me. So I'm going to try and work myself into a routine. Once, well, I would say once the editing's done, but it never gets done.
Never.
You're always doing another video.
It's always.
Yeah. We can also talk about that as well. Whatever you want to take on board for the channel, because I don't think you've been able to do much since Pokemon editing wise. So
yeah,
we'll talk about that next time.
I'm fine with that too. Don't worry about it. Whenever the editing comes, I know it's gonna come. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's something I'm sitting back just waiting for and upset, because nobody should be upset because they don't have to edit. That's kind of ridiculous, seriously, it is. If I was upset because I'm not editing videos, there's something wrong with me, dude. That's a mental problem right there. So it's all good, man. You do what you gotta do, and we can keep in contact and make sure everything's straightened out, and we'll do it day by day. All right.
Sounds like a plan. In that case, I will take my leave here, and I shall speak to you on Wednesday to continue the Zelda thing.
All right, man. And you get some sleep, get ready for work, and I will talk to you later.
Oh, lucky for me, I'm off until Thursday. So, but I'm gonna work on getting some sleep, though.
Yeah, go get you some sleep, man.
Yeah. Alright.
I'll see you later, bud.
See you later, man. Nice talking to you again.
You too. Alright. So I still am streaming. Sorry. I first need to get on my Jitsi, because what I forgot to do was do an ad for OSS. This is for Pirate Radio and Jeffy Ryder. He's getting ready to start the Christmas season with a Operation Secret Santa Claus project. So I am going to set that up, put the video in there and let you guys watch it before I end this, because I should have done it at the beginning. So let me go ahead and get it going. Alright, so give me a second. Jitsy's supposed to be firing up. That's where I got the video, and I really shouldn't have it on there. I should make it available somewhere else. I get lazy. The TF. Alright, so there we go. This is the video for Operation Secret Santa Claus. I'm just gonna play it and we can go from there.
Looking to lend a little hand this holiday season? Do your part in helping out those in need. You might want to consider getting involved on some level with Operation Secret Santa. Here's a quick overview. Formally kicking off on December 15th, Operation Secret Santa, that's hashtag OSS, is a world grassroots, strictly people-driven, Christmas charity, telethon-styled internet campaign. Referral marketing, or what's otherwise known as word of mouth, drives the project's big red sleigh, with all money, donations, and the like going directly to the needy who are selectively sponsored. The four main categories of participants we're looking for include 1. Live streaming web show hosts, speakers, producers, and performers. 2. Operator matchmaking elves, making their lists and checking them twice. 3. Secret Santa sponsors. And 4. People in any place around the world living in need, worthy of a little Christmas hand up. This year's organizers are presently working on mobilizing and building upon last year's preliminary success, with donation levels capped at a suggested price value limit of $1,000. If you've any further questions, be sure to drop by WPRPN.com or check out our groups on both Facebook and Minds.com via a keyword search of simply Operation Secret Santa, hashtag OSS.
Merry Christmas, everybody! Merry Christmas!
Okay, so let me back out of there and be done with it. Okay. Boom. I think we got it. Heck yeah. I believe so. So I've got all of the videos ready to go. They are available on Rumble, Minds.com, Odyssey. I even have one on Twitch, which I can show you guys. Well, it's all through there. So with that being said, I am going to go ahead and end this and be done with it. I believe that part came through alright without having to use the footage that Jaffe had for his, but later on I'll do it. As long as you heard his voice, you heard what he had to say, then that's fine. So with that, I am going to call this quits and end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, leave a comment. I love comments. I seriously do. So, I mean, not just saying that. I love to have conversations with you guys, so talk to me. With that being said, I'm going to stop the stream. Then I'll upload this to YouTube. After I'm done, it's going to be on the podcast, so talk to you guys later.